Hey guys, so today's video is about someone that I didn't actually speak about when the drama first unfolded. Like, I mentioned her, but I didn't make a full video, so I feel like now is a good time with everything that's happened to kind of wrap it all up and finally talk about it, I guess. So I'm just popping in to talk about today's sponsor, which is Skillshare. Thank you to the guys at Skillshare for sponsoring this video, obviously. Skillshare is basically an online community for creators with over 25,000 different classes in things like design, business, and many, many more. Premium membership gives you unlimited access to all of those classes, so you can join classes and communities that you feel are right for you. I recently have been enjoying a class by Icon Square, which is Instagram for business. I have recently started posting on Instagram again, selfless plug, and I don't know, I just found it really interesting considering I am technically an influencer. I feel like Instagram should be something that I take a little bit more seriously. And I know many people are trying to build their Instagram, so I feel like it's a good place to start. You can join over 7 million creators that are currently on Skillshare, so that's pretty fun. You'll never be bored with that many people. So yeah, thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video, and let's get back into the tea. So Olivia Jade is the daughter of Lori Loughlin and Massimo Giannulli, who is basically like a fashion designer. So something new happened, but we're just going to rewind back to a few months ago when allegedly Olivia's mom paid or bribed USC to accept Olivia and her sister into the uni or college, depending on where you're watching me from, by pretending that they were on a rowing team. So they basically took pictures to make it look like they are... Is that how rowing? Yeah, they sent it in and they got accepted. And Olivia actually had this iconic clip to emphasize just how much she wanted to go to uni or college.
And then the whole college thing, yep, I'm going. I'm living in a dorm with a roommate who's so sweet. With work, it's going to be hard. Like my first week of school, I'm leaving to go to Fiji for work. And then I'll be in New York a bunch this year for work and traveling to a different country because I'm creating something with this country and that's for work. So
I don't know how much of school I'm going to attend.
But I'm going to go in and talk to my deans and everyone and hope that I can try and balance it all. But I do want the experience of like game days, partying.
I don't really care about school.
You can clearly tell that she is very into studying, very, very into her studies. Definitely not just there for the parties. She's really... Which, that clip in itself isn't a problem to me. Personally, I think if you got the grades needed to get into a uni, you didn't bribe anyone, you just got accepted because you were good enough to go to that uni, and then you decide that studies are not really your thing and you just don't give a f***. That is your choice to make. I think as long as you got in fair and square, whatever you do and how much enthusiasm and energy you put into your studies is none of anyone's business because you got in fairly. So you got that position and you can do whatever the f*** you want with it. But when you combine that clip with the bribery, it just doesn't really look great. Olivia claimed she didn't know about the scandal beforehand, the bribery, to save face, but she posed for those rowing pictures knowing that she doesn't row. So like, she was just like, oh, I just want to do some rowing. Girls, let's take pictures. And they just didn't realize what the pictures were going to be used for. I can't seem to like grasp how they couldn't have possibly known about this. She was dropped by companies that she worked with, such as Sephora, because obviously the scandal just didn't look great for them. Fun fact, her parents pled not guilty compared to other parents who were, like, Olivia's parents weren't the only ones involved in the scandal. There were a lot of other rich parents involved, and all of them pled guilty to get a lower sentence, because that's usually how it works. If you plead guilty, you're going to get a lower sentence versus you pleading not guilty, then they find you guilty and you actually end up getting a higher sentence for basically just lying to them. So everyone else pled guilty because they were like, there's literal just evidence of us bribing the unis, so why are we going to plead not guilty when we clearly are? But Lori didn't plead guilty. Many people were confused. Now, there are two options. Either, you know, she's a millionaire, well, a multi-millionaire, she's got a good lawyer, and the lawyer somehow thought of this, like, genius plan where she will plead not guilty and she'll be found not guilty by some miracle. I guess if she's got a good lawyer, then sure. But two, she has no idea what she's doing, and she persuaded her lawyer to plead not guilty because you have the right to do whatever the you want. Even when your lawyer advises you otherwise, you can do whatever you want, essentially. It's your choice. And she probably just said, you know, I will go against my lawyer's better judgment and plead not guilty, because I think that's what's going to work for me. I don't know. We will just have to wait and see, I guess. Most people were actually shocked that someone from a very rich family and a successful YouTube channel would even want to go to uni. But I personally think that aspect of it wasn't a big deal. I mean, there are a lot of kids of rich parents that want to go uni because they personally just enjoy like the educational system. They want to stay in education and study. I think that's more than valid. Education is open to everyone, or at least it should be. So if someone is a multimillionaire but still wants to go and like study medicine, then so be it. However, some people were angry obviously at the fact that she, one, didn't really want to go uni and went anyway, but she also took the position of someone that had the grades to get into USC but just didn't have as much to offer, aka money, to get in, and they would have if it wasn't for her, potentially. And now going back to the first point people made, which is like, if you're a multi-millionaire, why are you taking the positions of people that, you know, could have that position? It's just, I guess, because going to uni sometimes ensures you a much better paid job. So considering she's from a multi-million-dollar family and she has a successful YouTube channel, she really does not need the extra help to have a successful career, whereas someone from a less financially stable household might actually benefit from that degree a little bit more than her. But at the end of the day, if she had gotten that position fairly without any bribing and she just had good grades and wanted to go to uni, then I would have no problem with it. But just the fact that her parents allegedly bribed the uni to get her in, which means she didn't have the grades, means she took that opportunity from someone who could have benefited from it a lot more. That's it. That's the tea. Now, looking at Olivia Jade specifically, and not just rich people as a whole bribing unis, because that happens a lot more than people think. Like, this scandal came out, but this has been happening before. It's happening now as we speak, and it will happen in the future until the next big break. So I feel like a lot of people are putting pressure on just like Olivia Jade. Like, this is just this one incident. Like, this happens a lot more than people would like to think. She admitted to not wanting to go to uni in a YouTube video and being almost like forced to go by her parents, which is fine on its own, because that is the case with a lot of people, regardless of financial situation. Parents sometimes force their kids to go to uni against their kind of will. And she did say, I don't really want to study. Like, I'm kind of busy and I'm just there for the parties, which, like, fair enough. If you're a paying student who got in with good grades, a good application, and you got in fairly regardless of your financial situation, then whatever you choose to do with your degree is your choice. If you want to pay for 3 years of uni and never attend uni like a single time, that is your call to make, your money to waste, and I am not here to judge because you got in fairly. It's how you get in that I'm concerned about, not what you do while you're in uni. But fast forward to basically now, Olivia Jade had not posted on Instagram or Twitter since like February, March, and she finally made a comeback with this post. I will have to censor it because ads, and she tagged big newspapers in the caption. I don't think this was the way she should have made a comeback to the internet, realistically, but many Instagram verified people came to her defense in the comment section and were just like, you're so strong, yay. And she only allowed people that she followed to comment under the post. She kept the comments very restricted. She basically that way tried to avoid looking at the criticism, because she knew that the people that she followed and followed her back would support her because they know her. Yet the criticism still came through on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, this video, you name it, it was there. How she got into uni was not fair, and is the baseline for this whole video. It's just the way she got into uni was not fair. What she did while at uni is her business, but how she got in to be able to do that wasn't fair. Matter of fact is that people have been doing this, are doing this, and will be doing this until the next scandal comes out, like I said. So it's not just like I'm only aiming this at Olivia Jade, I'm aiming this at everyone who gets into uni unfairly. If you don't have the grades for a uni, it usually means you shouldn't go to that uni, because the standard of education that they have is a lot higher sometimes, and it usually means that you'll not be able to cope with the degree. So it means you're going to fail your degree. So uni isn't for everyone, and it's not something that you have to do. It's not like, oh, like I have to go to uni even though like my grades aren't that great. If your grades aren't great, don't go to uni because it's only going to get more difficult from there. You can get a lot of good jobs without a uni degree. The fact that Olivia Jade is not the only person who has attended uni through this method, I guess, does not make the whole thing okay. I'm just saying that the focus shouldn't be just cancel Olivia Jade. It should be ensure that this doesn't happen or keep on happening. She should drop out and try again. If she's so passionate about uni, then she should realistically drop out of USC and go through the application process again and get in fairly with her grades. Will she be able to? I don't know. Definitely USC will not be taking her back because they've already gotten enough backlash over taking her in the first place. So I don't see them being like, yes, come on in, Olivia Jade. We'll give you a second chance. But she might be able to get into a slightly lower uni, depending on her grades. What I've seen people say, which is quite interesting, is if we're going by what she said, which is that she didn't know of this, imagine finding out that your parents bribed the school to get you in, which means that your parents don't believe in you enough or believe in you being able to get into a uni on your own without their help. But if she did know, and her parents approached her with this like offer, I just wonder how it feels to know that your parents just don't believe in your abilities to get into uni on your own. Like just the fact that they came up to her and were like, by the way, we're just bribing USC to get you in. So like jump on the boat. Let's do some rowing pictures because otherwise you're not going to get in. Like how does that feel to know that like your parents don't have enough, I guess, faith in you to think that you could possibly do this on your own and they have to throw money at the school to get you in? I don't know. I just feel like if this is all true, it's kind of sad. Besides the whole point of this video, which is like, don't do this, it's also just quite sad. I don't know. I feel like I would be quite offended if my parents were like, by the way, don't worry about studying. We'll just get you in. Just hop on a boat. Let's do some rowing pictures. It'll be all right. Like, so you just don't believe in me is basically what you're saying. The post on Instagram was, well, ignorant. She, had her middle fingers up. She was basically talking about all the news outlets that reported on the stories, including just because she didn't tag any YouTubers reported on the story same way that the news outlets did. We're just not as big as the news outlets. So realistically, that middle finger was aimed at anyone that criticized her. Like, don't take that as just Daily Mail and whatever. Like, that's not exclusive to them. That picture was aimed at anyone who basically reported on the story or criticized her. That's it. Like, that's how I took that picture. And it's kind of sucked. Like, I'm sorry, Olivia Jade, but if you and your parents didn't f up, we wouldn't talk about you. So maybe next time just don't bribe unis to accept you. I don't know. Maybe then we just won't talk about you and that'll be all good and well for everyone, I guess. It was ignorant, but I guess that's what happens when you're brought up in privilege. You don't really see the ignorance a lot of the time because it's just, privilege is just something that you're used to. It just becomes your norm and you don't really see how it affects people that don't have that privilege. And you kind of have to if you're trying to, live in a society that includes people that don't have the privilege you do. As a law student, which every law student says, ever, have you ever heard a law student not mention the fact that they're a law student in a conversation? Because I haven't. Law students and med students will not shut the fuck up about their degree. You will know it, even if you don't want to. So, as a law student, I want to see the outcome of this case. I just want to see what happens. But cases like this can take months to years, depending on how much evidence there is, what witnesses they have, etc. So I just want to see the outcome. I just want to see if there will be prison time, if there will be just fines. Like, I just want to know, mainly because they were the only people that didn't plead guilty in this whole case. I just want to see how that makes a difference, for the better or for the worse. I just want to know. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, comment down below anything, comment down below, and subscribe because I post videos like this a lot, or at least I try. Turn on notifications and you'll know when that's happening. Follow me on my socials, they'll be in the description down below, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye guys.